right, we are doing some real talk guidance this week, and we are going to be discussing a particular topic about how you can't manifest a relationship you're not aligned with. Now, that is the topic, that's the Real Talk Tarot we're doing for today. I'm going to pull cards because what I aim to do here is to answer that, right? But show you also, in a way, the kind of guidance that the universe is giving. Okay? You can't manifest a relationship that you're not aligned with, right? Thing is, a lot of people want to manifest certain relationships. Unfortunately, no matter how much you manifest, if it is not aligned with you, your energy, your purpose, it's just not going to happen, right? That's just the way that it is. Um, and it's a funny card to get, that Temperance in reverse, because Temperance to me is always about acceptance. Okay. And I think this is going to be a reading that is going to call people out about acceptance, right? About what we sometimes want for ourselves, but is not aligned with us. Okay, so we've got the Chariot, the Hermit, the Nine of Wands. Let's start off with the Chariot. Now, the Chariot, and this is the Pastoral Tarot deck, and this is obviously showing forward movement, okay? Um, Along with the Eight of Wands, which is a perfect um, a companion card to that, Eight of Wands in reverse. So, sometimes that's just the way that it goes. Sometimes we want to move something forward and we want to be able to make something happen or take action towards something, even if it's not necessarily what's best for us. Okay, even if there's not even an actual opportunity for that to be the potential. Okay, and that's the reminder that if something is too hard, we need to assess why it's hard, where it is hard, and what are we meant to overcome in that hardship. If everything is hard and every single thing you do within that situation is a door slamming in your face, that's just a clear sign. Maybe stop, maybe pause, maybe take a step back. For those that are manifesting relationships that unfortunately are probably not aligned with their energy, things like trying to fix a relationship, even just maybe trying to align with your person and it's not working, whether your person is not interested, not invested, whether things keep happening so that the relationship doesn't move forward. These are all signs of maybe it's not aligned with you, that maybe no matter what you do, there's not a real opportunity for alignment within that situation. Sometimes we have to be able to just take a pause, step back, look at the situation, and see whether it is something that is welcoming us or pushing us away. Oftentimes we don't want to accept that we're being pushed away from it, right? Here we have the Hermit. So let's see what this Hermit is about in this context, okay? Yeah. I feel like this reading is more about how sometimes we need to accept when someone doesn't want to be with us for whatever reason, okay? Um, and I know that kind of sounds hurtful. Um, it's just sometimes we force ourselves upon a person, upon a connection, upon a situation. And when we're doing that, that's actually the time where we need to step back and maybe take time for ourselves and maybe be on our own. Okay. We would never need to force a person, a connection to work. You will automatically see the other person putting in the genuine effort, investment, time, whatever's required for a connection to move forward. It should never be forced. Okay. And sometimes it helps us when we take time to ourselves, when we kind of step back and take time to ourselves, right? And distance ourselves. We start to see where the gaps are. We start to see how we're forcing ourselves, how we're manifesting something, particularly relationships, that aren't meant to happen. You will know that a relationship is not meant for you if you are the one that keeps going towards it. If you are the only one that keeps going towards it, your person is not even meeting you halfway, you don't even see them getting up to try to come towards you, that is the obvious sign that this relationship that you want is not for you. Okay? W- real world details. Things like if it takes your person so much time and so much effort to reply to a text, to call you up, to ask how you are. If you need their help in some particular way that's not, overly excessive and not, asking too much from the other person. If it's simple things and they don't want to put in that effort, those are small things but big signs of how a relationship is not manifesting because it's not meant for you. You know, um, I actually was not a big Swiftie fan. I mean, I don't really consider myself a Swiftie, but I love Taylor Swift music. Okay. Personal life, I'm intrigued. Like it's interesting and fascinating to follow along. Um, but it's like Taylor, right? She writes all these love songs all throughout her life, and I think she was even quoted as saying that she was someone that that w people would have like a man would have a relationship with before they get together with the person they're meant to get together with, right? Um, and that's the thing. It's like you look at Taylor and Travis, okay, and I watched that interview that they had on their New Heights show. Like you watch them together, you see how they are together. Um, it's natural. There's no forcing needed. The other person will step up, not because they have to, but because they want to. And it's not even any kind of command of stepping up. It's because you find the right person that you align with so much that there's not even an asking that needs to happen. It's an automatic knowing of what the other person needs, wants, desires, whatever. So it's never going to be anything that has to be forced, right? And that's just like a an extra tidbit there about the whole Taylor Travis thing. Um, Big fan of the music. Only just a few years ago, though. To be honest, I was not a big Taylor Swift fan. I wasn't, I didn't have a full appreciation for it until like a few years ago. And I'll admit that. But I love the music now. I'm fascinated by the story. And it's inspiring to see how love can actually happen, right? And I'm sure that there are going to be people out there that are like, oh, it's a PR thing, whatever. If that's what you guys want to believe, that's fine. Um, I think, though, that if we step into that kind of thinking, we are basically telling ourselves that love does not exist. And if in your head love doesn't exist, then it's not going to happen for you, right? So let's move on to the Nine of Wands. Okay. I mean, in this context of the Nine of Wands, where literally you see a deer out in the woods, right? And a deer is like an easy target, right? Um, for hunters, right? To shoot and kill. Like a deer is exposed and vulnerable. Um, that's literally you guys. Okay. If you're resonating with this reading at all, this is literally you guys because you are feeling vulnerable and like naked in a sense because you are exposed in the wild. Okay. Um, and there are particular people that will probably come towards you with definite interest, right? And there are some that are genuine and some that are, you know, maybe temporary. But all the same, it is up to you to decide what you let in versus what you don't accept. And the moment that we start chasing, we've already lost the person. Does that make sense? The moment that we start chasing a person and forcing and trying so hard, we've already lost that person. That's why you'll notice in a lot of movies, right, and a lot of things that you watch where there's that dynamic. You easily get irritated with the person that is trying too hard, right? Like obviously it can be a split audience. Like there are some that are going to be like, oh yeah, that's you should go with that, and in some ways, yes. But a lot of the time, we're kind of irritated at the person that tries too hard, that keeps forcing themselves on someone when the person is not obviously interested. And I feel like this is going to be for those that you probably genuinely just want to be with someone that you love, maybe. And the thing is, I think you guys are forcing yourself um, on a person that may not be as invested as you guys, right? That's why what you want to happen, it's not happening. No matter how many calls you make, no matter how many texts you send, no matter how many thoughtful gestures you take or make, it's it's going to kind of go to waste. It's not going to be appreciated in its full value because it is not being received by the right person, right? So that's really what I'm getting from this. I hope this is helping whoever just needs to hear this kind of guidance. I kind of made the Real Talk Tarot week um, about just different topics, but more real world and just things that we really need to hear that it's kind of difficult to hear in long form. Okay, because I do this kind of thing on the other channel. I'm sure you guys know where. Um, but this is more like the long form. Let's get into it. Let's get, decisive about this. What do we really need to do? And I'm going to be like that person, that friend that says, wake up, stop doing this to yourself. They obviously don't want to be with you otherwise. They do this, they do that. You'd feel this, you'd see that, right? Again, Real Talk Tarot here. I'm going to pull some cards as additional energy just to kind of see for whoever's resonating with this collective energy. What do you need to know? What are the other signs? What are the other things that you need to understand and maybe accept if you're in this kind of situation? Okay? Yeah. So there's quite a few things here, honestly. Um, that's not to say that if you are in a genuine relationship, you do not experience anxiety, stress, all those kinds of things, problems. You do. Obviously, you do. But I think really the root of those things is not because of how you feel about each other. The moment that is in question is the moment you have to start looking at it and think, is this really the person for me? Okay. Um, if somebody makes you feel so anxious and scared and panicky because you don't know what how they feel, what they want, that person is probably not for you. Just plain and simple. Because a person that is deeply invested in you, that sees a future with you, will not have you in that kind of panic. They will make it clear to you, this is my intention. This is how I see us. This is what I'd like for us, right? It doesn't mean that it doesn't take a journey to get to that point, but if you're dealing with someone that makes you feel panicked that you're going to lose them and they are oblivious or do not take or make the effort to give you any kind of reassurance, time to walk away. That's not your person, okay? It's not. And let's not take the small minor moments that they give you attention, that they reply to you on time, that they even think to ask something about you. Those are minor conveniences on their part to do that, okay? Remember, consistency matters, intention matters. And if the worst thing, well, yeah, you know what? I would say the worst thing is to be in a relationship with someone and to feel alone. Because I was thinking about it because I was thinking, let me go back on my own experience, right? I mean, this is an obvious fact, but just going back on my experience, I was married for quite a few years. And in that marriage, I felt alone. I did not have a true partner, a real friend. A lot of the time, I was sad and I was alone. I didn't feel like I had a person that I could share real things with. There was always a fear of being disregarded, right? And it doesn't feel great. Yes, you're married. Yes, you're with someone. But to have that feeling and that kind of dynamic, don't you think it's better off being alone? Compared to me now, yes, I am single. I am alone. I would rather have this. And I can accept this for a lifetime than live a lifetime of being in a relationship and being sad, broken, alone, panicked, scared, anxious. I'll take being single. course, does not mean that I would not like a commitment and all of those beautiful things. It's just if you compare the two, feeling alone in a relationship is probably one of the worst things when we talk about romantic love. Okay. And another thing is, and this is such a clear sign, you will know a person has genuine interest in you by the way they look into your eyes, the way that they pay such attention to you, whether that's by sight, or in an auditory sense. Like if you have someone that looks you in the eyes when you talk and you know they're listening, big green flag. If you have someone that listens to you when you talk and remembers things later on, huge green flag. These things matter. If you're dealing with someone that they have flighty eyes, they are always distracted or not listening, not remembering, oh, guys, these are all small things, but they're big signs of the kind of person that you're dealing with. Okay. Again, no one is perfect, but for those that are resonating with this, it's time for you guys to start deciphering what is real versus what is not. Talking, conversations, those matter. If your person can't take the time to have a conversation with you, to talk with you, even if it's just about your day, that's not your person. This is a big deal for me because, believe it or not, married for 17 years, but my ex, who again has passed away, but my ex never asked me how my day was. Can you imagine in a 17-year marriage being with someone that would not bother to ask you, how was your day? And I'm not exaggerating when I say that because that would actually imply that I actually really mattered if this person asked me how my day was. They might ask, how did this go? But they're not going to ask, how was I specifically? How did I feel? Right? That says a lot, guys. Don't settle for what I settled. Okay? Time is running out. Wasting your time on a person that does not give you what you deserve and what you want in a relationship. You only have one life to live, guys. Only one life. So, that got personal and deep quickly, but I hope that is helping anybody that is hearing this to maybe make realizations, have realizations about the kind of relationship that you're in. Because I feel like with this topic that we're talking about, we may not even be realizing that we are manifesting something that's not aligned with us, that we're continuing to force relationships that we don't belong to, right? We may not even be realizing that is the dynamic that we're living. So I hope this reading is helping. And I will do some tarot card guidance just to kind of close this out. And I'm sorry if this is a little tough or a little harsh. I mean, that's just the way that it is with me and my readings for some reason. Um, but I think because it's also the intention I set. I always said that I wanted to give the kind of guidance that I needed when I was going through it. And although I had support, although I had friends even during the time, I needed someone to like wake me up. And sometimes people you know can't do that for you because they know you. Sometimes you need to hear it from a stranger, like moi, right? Um, so, I would say wake up, wake up. Stop with the nonsense of pretending that you're in a loving relationship when you know you're not. Start accepting what you know you need to accept, that you can finally start doing something about your life. Okay? Don't confuse small meaningless gestures with actual effort, consistency. Okay? You can decipher the two. You are grown up enough and know better. You can decipher the two. Okay? I know it's hard because when we're emotionally invested, or sometimes circumstances are dictating, where we are at, it's just hard to let go. But I mean, if you're here and you're watching this, it's because you know it's what you need to hear and you know you need to do something about it now. Like I said, time's running out, guys. Imagine I learned this lesson. I was already what? Well, I actually only learned the lesson the real lesson of it all for me in my situation. I was already 40 plus. I was freed from that marriage. I was late 30s. And it's not that I have regrets because I have three beautiful children, whether they believe it or not. um, but I have three beautiful children, and I know what my life was meant to be. I know what my life is meant to be now moving forward. But if I can be the person that can help you guys wake up so you do not waste any more time and you find your actual happiness, I hope that I am that person. And if I have to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. I'll take on the role, okay? Willingly. Because for whoever's resonating with this, you guys gotta stop. This isn't, come on, it's small things. Okay, let me list it out. Because as I talk, I can see like small situations. Trying to hold your partner's hand and your partner may hold it for a second and let it go. And you feel like they never want to hold my hand. Texting, never getting a reply. And if you do, probably short replies. For some, I'm getting that you actually get a long reply, but that's like far and few between. And maybe you don't have a texter. That could be the case. Let's not narrow it down to such things like maybe they're just not a texter. Maybe they're somebody that they want to converse, personally and things like that. Then you'll see that effort elsewhere and maybe not through text. Again, with the Empress card here, it's like you guys know better. You know what actual effort is versus accepting bare minimum. Okay? Yeah. You guys have been avoiding doing something about this. It's like it's clear as day that you guys know that you are in a relationship that you're not supposed to be in, honestly. This is not it. This is not the one. This is not the person you should be ending up with. You know this. It's just, it's hard to leave it behind. And I think some of you don't want to be alone. And it is the idea of being on your own, it can be scary, but it can also be very freeing. Okay. And like I said, to feel alone in a relationship, you guys got to think about that. What are you settling for? Right? Don't you want to be free from all these anxious thoughts, these feelings of sadness? Don't you want to be free from that? Do you constantly want to be reminded on a daily basis how this person makes you feel and it's not the way that you want to feel? You guys, you need to think about your futures. I feel like this is for people where you have already either settled or you're thinking of settling into a relationship that doesn't have that great of a future. Getting married does not fix things, guys. A piece of paper does not fix things. I'm getting that some of you feel like, well, I just need to get across that. Like, we just need to get married and everything will be okay. No, it will not be okay. You will just have solidified yourself in a relationship that will keep you very sad, broken, alone, and scared. Wow, I didn't imagine it would be this real, but that's what I'm really getting here for this reading. My guidance here for you. A new path, a new journey isn't always that bad. It is better to pursue something without knowing what happens versus staying in a situation you know will keep you sad, broken, alone, anxious, feeling unworthy. Who wants to feel like that on a daily basis, guys? We really need to think about the decisions we make because it does affect our future. And in the moment, we don't think about that. We become impulsive. We think, yeah, I'll just do this. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. We need to think about tomorrow. Is this a life that you want to carve out for yourself? If your person is not showing you genuine, committed, passionate interest in your life, in you, in your connection, they're not the one. Okay? They're not. I feel like some of you guys are dealing with an Aries Leo Sag. You guys know if this person is really invested. You would know it, you would see it, you would breathe it. No question, right? Obviously, if you're in the beginnings of a relationship, then this may not be for you. This is for those that can visibly see. that the relationship they're in causes them to be anxious, scared, panic, feel alone. That there's so much effort on their part to just try to keep this relationship together, much less move it forward. A real, true connection that is meant for you. You see these two people in this boat? You see how attentive? See how attentive that guy is? That's adoration, and that's what you guys deserve. Nothing less. Okay? So, I hope this reading is helping you to see things that you've probably already been seeing, things that you already probably know, but you need to really fully realize. Guys, you deserve somebody that's going to be consistent. You see that King of Pentacles? Somebody solid, consistent, somebody that wants to provide for you. You guys deserve that. Don't accept less because that's what it looks like. Otherwise, otherwise, the moon with the Three of Swords. I mean, broken heart, constant anxiety, lots of being in your feelings because you're sad, you're broken, you're alone. I mean, that's the future ahead of you if you keep deciding to manifest whatever relationship this is. This isn't it, okay? I hope that helps. I will pull a few zodiacs just for those to know whether you're resonating or not. We got Aquarius, we've got Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn, and I think I will also do Aries and the number 11.